For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Neffy Kevin
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do
it.
I'll fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky III and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Welcome in, No One to Blame, where hindsight is always 20/20. It is tournament time. I am jacked. I'm jacked up, Kev. I'm jacked up, man. Feeling great, man. I've worked all weekend. Didn't get to actually watch selection. Came home and boy, oh boy. Dude, they made a mess of this bracket. Let me tell you something. Right off the rip, they made a mess of the bracket. Okay. But that's my initial thought, man. That's my initial thought. Before we get into it, I got to say, happy St. Patty's Day to all that celebrate. We celebrate hard here on No One to Blame. So happy St. Patty's Day if you're getting into it. If you got into it this weekend and you're licking your wounds, hopefully you're hanging out with us. Kevin and I are going to walk you through every single tournament game. We're going to walk you through the betting lines, and we're going to show you how we are filling out our bracket. Kev, give me that initial first reaction when you saw the Selection Sunday.
I mean, just like everybody, I don't think anybody had North Carolina getting in unless you're a North Carolina fan. Indiana, West Virginia. Hey, most people thought West Virginia wasn't even on the bubble, much less in this scenario. But, it is what it is. I think the problem is they're taking a lot more just, when KenPom ratings, strength of schedule, all that, it's kind of evolved over the years. And it's almost like there's a bunch of nerds trying to figure out too many stats. You know what I mean? It's like there's a bunch of...
Oh, dude, they brought that up.
There's too much data coming at them, and they just don't know what to do with it.
No offense,
the fact that they made the comment like West Virginia guy was hurt was part of the reason that it kind of hurt them. He hadn't played all year. So, what are we talking about? It ain't like he got hurt in the conference championship game or a conference tournament. He literally has not played most of the season. So, that was kind of a weird statement to make. So, I think they kind of don't know what to do. They need to get all these conference presidents, all these conference athletic directors out of it. Yeah,
the FBI is going to show up at your door, dude. You need to relax.
Bring them. They can come too.
Listen, here's the deal.
They fill out brackets also.
Yeah, exactly. The AD for UNC, his name is on the tip of my tongue right now. Everyone's talking about him. He needs to be put in jail. Straight to jail.
Bubba.
Don't pass
Bubba.
go.
Call him Bubba.
Straight to jail, dude. That is highway robbery. UNC should not be in this tournament, especially over West Virginia. Especially over West Virginia. What did West Virginia have? Was it 6 quad 1 wins for West Virginia? Do you have that stat in front of you?
Well, I know North Carolina.
You cut out there. Did you have the West Virginia quad 1 wins?
No.
Okay. I know we were talking about it earlier. I don't know. I don't have. I didn't jot it down. But North Carolina, 13 quad 1 games this year. We talked about it, but you want to take a guess at how many wins they had? You there?
I'm breaking up here, Jesse.
Yep.
I'm here now.
Yep. North Carolina had 1 quad 1 win, yet they get in over West Virginia. West Virginia has some massive victories this year. Listen, no free shout outs, no free ads. Moneyline Mac, one of my favorite college basketball podcasts, the College Basketball Experience. I don't really care. I'll talk about it. Those guys are awesome. They're diehards. And his alma mater is West Virginia. And he went off today on the craziest rant. And if you're not familiar, you're just going to think that the guy is whining. But it means something. It means something to go to the games, to go to the tournament, to go to the dance. It means something, right? To have
six quad 1 wins. 6 quad 1. Yep.
6 quad 1 wins for West Virginia. 1 for North Carolina. That's crazy to me. I mean, I just don't get it. Now, West Virginia, the Big 12. They were 7th in the Big 12. They were never really in contention there, and they have some big schools in the Big 12, right? Houston, Texas Tech, BYU had a late surge. Arizona, a very popular team, their first year in the Big 12, I believe. Iowa State, right? They were at the top for a while, and then you have Kansas. West Virginia fit in right there. But let's talk about this, dude. West Virginia had a win versus number 3 Gonzaga, number 24 Arizona, number 7 Kansas at Kansas. Dude, at number 2
they had 10 they had 10 wins. They had 10 in-conference wins.
What are we talking about here, man? This should just be a no-brainer to me. I don't know. Maybe they didn't finish the season as strong as they wanted to. They had a couple tournament wins, the Big 12 tournament, but I don't know. I just think that they should have been in, and I think everyone else knows that they should have been. And it feels criminal. And at the end of the day, you got to zoom out, right? Put the 1,000-foot lens on. It's the NCAA, man. Who's gonna draw more money? Who, right? UNC or West Virginia?
It's got to be. They need to take all the shadiness, the potential for the people to look at it sideways out of the group that is putting it together. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. I'm not here to act like I know how to fix that. But when you have an athletic director from a school who is getting paid 6 figures because his team just got in the tournament, that's like, nah. Like, you got to wash your hands of that. Dude? Yeah.
You can't have that.
And I'm not saying that he purposefully manipulated anything, but it's just human nature. If you're sitting in a room with this UNC guy, even though he leaves the room physically to talk about his team, they still have a relationship with that guy. They've been sitting in these meetings with him. So they just need to change that up somehow, some way.
Right. And if we're talking about the rest of the teams, I mean, Indiana, Ohio State, Boise State, West Virginia, right? First 4 out. So the biggest snub. So UNC got in. I think a case can maybe be made for Ohio State, maybe Boise State. Indiana, though, I don't know, man. Indiana, I thought, had a pretty good season, better than North Carolina, I would argue. And I think, again, I mean, the collusion is just it's bad, man.
Yeah, Boise State should have got in.
Let Darren Ravel pick the bracket. Problem solved. Yeah, Darren Ravel. Oh, man, I hate that guy. Yeah, Indiana had some massive victories, especially down the stretch, dude. 13 Purdue, at 11 Michigan State. I mean, did UNC even do anything close to that? They at Ohio State.
No,
I mean,
they had one quad one win. Like they had one. Like it's just I don't.
We're spending a lot of time on this, Kev, and I think it's important too, though, because we have 68 teams get in the tournament. Yes, there's the play-in games or whatever, but still. And I just think it's with that many teams getting in to have something like this happen, I just think it's a big deal, man.
So yeah,
I'm going back to their schedule. I got it up right now. Too. They lost to Florida. They beat number 18 UCLA.
And that's their only right?
Lost to Kansas, lost to Auburn, lost to Michigan State, lost to Bama, lost to Florida, lost to Louisville. Right?
I don't even know if they have. I mean, what is their best win? Florida State, UCLA,
no, UCLA.
Besides the UCLA one, yeah, that's it.
It's not Florida State, that's for sure.
No, I'm just saying Florida State.
You know what I mean?
Go look at it. It might be their last decent win.
Florida State was not good this year.
No, they're terrible. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just when you put the resumes together, it just doesn't make any sense. And I think it's just so blatantly obvious and it's corrupt and they should all be put in jail. That's all I got to say about that. Any more qualms with the first four out, Kev? West Virginia, nope. Indiana, Ohio State, Boise State?
Nah, I feel like Indiana, Boise State should have been in, one of the two.
Do you think that Boise State should also play on a blue basketball court?
Absolutely. But they're the only ones. They're the only ones.
The Smurf turf. Now I want to show you the Smurf pine. I don't know.
Thing.
Terrible. Boise State's resume is really nothing. Oh, dude, they beat St. Mary's early in the year. They beat Clemson. That right there, dude. Boise State's resume is better than North Carolina's right there.
Yeah, just in Clemson the two games you just said.
St. Mary's, two tournament teams right there.
Yep, that's it.
Fuck North Carolina, dude. All right. I think we could all agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep it moving, Kev. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about the first four play-in games. Talk about their spreads. I'll tell you as we go along here. This is how we're going to do the format. First four, and then we're going to go by region, game by game. Give you all the spreads. We're going to give you your picks. We're going to get through all of the first round, I think, Kev. Or do you want to do full regions at a time?
We could do the full region. Let's do the full region.
I think that's more fun. Yeah. We'll talk about spreads and we'll fill out the rest of the bracket as we go. Hopefully, if you're watching, you got your bracket in front of you. I've got way too many. This is what we do.
3 of them.
This is what we do. This is what we trained for all year, Kev. This is the dance. College basketball record this year. 645 posted plays. Okay. This is regular season and conference tournaments. Finished with a record of 354, 284, and 7 for a winning percentage of 55.5%. And if you were to tell me that I'd be betting on 650 games and have a 55.5% winning percentage, I'll take it. If you got those lines at minus 110, you're up 41 units. If you got those lines at maybe around minus 120 because you had to buy a half point, you're up 14 units. We were laying some juice throughout the year, but usually if I'm laying minus 125 or more on a money line, Kev. Those plays come in. I think they were hitting it like a 90% clip. So even if you did lose one, we were covering the rest with our wins. I think one more important thing, Kev, we have a crazy stat here, and we'll talk about it again at the end, but I want to talk about it now. So the last 24 champions, there's been a trend with 23 of them. What up, Ty? Ty, you know, we respect the mid-majors, Ty. We're going to get to all of them here.
Love them.
Shout out, Ty. Okay, so the last 24 national championship winners, 23 of them have followed in this trend, okay? They were this is KenPom, top 21 offensive rated in KenPom, top 31 defensive rated in KenPom. 23 out of the last 24 champions have been in this. There is 2, 4, 6, 8 teams that fit this criteria. Wisconsin, Iowa State, which we'll talk about, got an injury. Gonzaga, shocker there. Didn't expect that, to be honest with you. And then we got our usual suspects here. Florida, Auburn, Duke, Houston, and Tennessee. Number 1 seeds for a reason there, right?
There's another one of the teams that kept bouncing in and out of that was Clemson. Clemson's right there.
Love that Clemson team.
There,
Yep, love that Clemson team. Love what they did last year too. I was fading Clemson left and right last year, and I was just losing money left and right. It was not a good time for me. All right, I want to talk about the South first. Kev, you on board with that?
Yep.
And here, no, first four. Sorry.
All right.
St. Francis, PA is playing Alabama State. Alabama State is minus 4.5 points here. Winner gets the opportunity to lose to Auburn on the 20th, which is fun. But do you have any thoughts on Alabama State or St. Francis, PA?
Isn't St. Francis the only team with a losing record right now? Is that right?
The Red Flash, their record is 16-17, and they went ahead and won the NEC over Central Connecticut, which was a complete shocker. Central Connecticut was 25-7 this season, was 14-2 in conference. St. Francis was 8-8 in conference, and now they're 16-17. Dude, this is what it's all about. That is March in a nutshell right there, dude. Let's go, St. Francis.
Yeah, hey, dude, Ty, there's your mid-majors right there.
There is your mid-major. That's absolutely right. That being
Give
said,
me Alabama State.
4.5 points, though. I might take the points, man. I might take the points. I think I'll take St. Francis, and I'll take the points there, Kev. Not gonna spend too much time on that one. Same with this one. San Diego State and North Carolina. North Carolina minus 4.5 points versus San Diego State. So not only did they let North Carolina in, but then they put them up against San Diego State. They very well could have put them up against Texas or Xavier, right? A much stronger matchup, in my opinion. But they want them. They want them to advance. You can't tell me any different, right? So North UNC, and I pulled these lines 4 or 5 hours ago. They could have shifted already. No, lines move so fast in college basketball; they're unlike any other sport. So lines will be moving
in the tournament,
especially in the tournament, right? So yes, are we early? We sure are. But lines have already moved several points since they opened them up on Sunday night. So you got to get in where you fit in. The winner of this game is going to be playing Ole Miss on the 21st on Friday. So this is going to be a good game. I am going to take San Diego State in the points again, I think.
North Carolina shouldn't be in, which you know what that means? They're going to win their first game probably just to feed the frenzy.
You're probably right.
I think I like UNC.
So I think we need to clarify
here.
The
4.5.
We need to clarify. because this is going to get a little confusing. I am taking St. Francis, PA plus 4.5 to cover, Alabama State in my bracket. Okay. We're going to have to clarify that, Kev, because that is going to get very confusing. I am going to take San Diego State with the points, but I'm going to have UNC advance in my bracket. Okay. And we'll be filling this out as we go along. Boom, boom. Kev, let's move it to the 18th. Mount St. Mary's is playing American. American minus 2.5. I am going to roll with American here. I actually think American had a pretty decent season all the way around. Winner of this game, unfortunately, has to play Duke. So no bueno for them. But who are you playing? Who are you picking?
Yeah, I got American moving on and the minus 2.5. So same.
Okay. Makes sense to me. And now Texas and Xavier. This line is up to -3. This is the first game that I have bet. I took Xavier minus 2.5. As you can already see, it already moved to -3, and it might be moving to -3.5 depending on where you're looking. I think money's coming in on Xavier. I think they're a more complete team, and I think Texas went on a nice little run. But I just don't think Texas has the juice, man. Thoughts?
I got Texas moving on, plus and to cover plus 3.5. Or well, I got it 3.5, but
okay. Now the winner of this game. So you got Texas to move on and cover.
Yep.
Okay. Winner plays Illinois on Friday. That is a good game.
That could be
a
a
game.
Complete boom or bust game. Like both these teams can go out and show out one night and lay an egg the next night. So that'll be interesting.
Illinois has been they've been something. Now, Kev, you're an Illinois fan, right?
Yeah. Try my olden days. Yep. Darren Williams, Luther Head.
Remind the people again why you're an Illinois fan.
Grew up Southern Illinois, 15 minutes right outside of St. Louis, Missouri. So we were a couple hours from Urbana, where Illinois is located. But, we went Roger Powell, Darren Williams, Luther Head, DJ. Augustine. We had, North Carolina against Sean May, them guys. I was actually in St. Louis. Me and my wife went to the game, had a good time. Except for the UNC ended up winning, but good weekend.
Yeah. See, the UNC hate goes far
Deep.
back. And is your wife a Duke fan?
She is. So there is no baby blue in this household. Not at all.
I love it. Get it out of here. All right. Recap. We're both taking Alabama State to advance, American to advance, Xavier to advance, North Carolina to advance. I am taking St. Francis, PA in the points, San Diego State in the points, and I bet Xavier -2.5. Good shit. First four, not a whole lot to talk about. Let's talk about where they landed. So Auburn, we're starting off in the South region here. Auburn playing either Alabama State or St. Francis, PA. No line out now. I'm going to tell you right now, this line is going to be at least 24.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You think?
They don't. The line on the, so for instance, you got the Florida Norfolk is like 28 something, whatever you can kind of get at. So Auburn is the number 1 overall seed. So I assume it's going to be in that range.
Yeah. So I think everyone is taking Auburn to go ahead and advance there. I can't imagine one person in America is taking Bama State or St. Francis, PA to keep them moving there, right?
Alabama State alum, probably token right in.
These games are being played in Lexington, by the way. The next one here we go. Louisville and Creighton. Banger game, dude. Banger game. Let's go. Louisville -2.5 when I made my spreadsheet here. So if the line changed again, don't at me in the comments. I don't care. I bet the Louisville money line minus 145. Okay. I'm laying a little bit of juice here. I'm taking Louisville to advance past Creighton. I think Louisville has slept on a little bit, and I think people are super high on Creighton and the Cockbrenner kid, which, hey, rightfully so. But I just like Louisville a little bit more. It's minus 2.5 for a reason, Kev. It's a tight game, right?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, this was literally the last game I picked on my bracket. It was blank until we just started the show. I could not figure out who I liked in this game. I ended up just picking Creighton to advance.
Okay. That's fair enough. Hey, and here's the deal.
I think
we're gonna talk about the points and talk about it. But if it's a no bet, we're just gonna tell you guys, hey, it's a no bet. Here's who we're taking in our bracket, right?
Yeah, I'm no betting this one because it's
fair enough.
This is gonna be a good game. Close
fair
game.
Enough. But you're taking Creighton to move on.
Yep.
All right. First big disagreement there from Kevin and I. You're gonna see a lot of them. That's just how Kevin and I roll. Michigan, man, another banger game here. Michigan versus UC San Diego. So 5 seed Michigan versus UC San Diego. This is being played in Denver. So you got a little bit of altitude you got to think about here. So Michigan won the Big Ten tournament. They were not favorites. They were like plus 1,000 or something to win that tournament. And I don't think anyone expected Michigan to win the Big Ten. The San Diego Tritons are 30-4, right? So as far as 12 seeds go, everyone always looks for the 12-5 upset, right? I think that's just become a very popular thing. And I think that this is going to be another very, very popular thing. You're going to hear it at the water cooler at work over the next couple days. UC San Diego. I got news for you. Michigan's got 2 very good big men, Golden from FAU, and the other one, I forgot where he transferred from. Do you remember?
No idea.
Nope. Listen, the size advantage here for Michigan, I think, is going to kill UC San Diego. I have Michigan advancing, and I got Michigan minus the points as well.
We are off to a start, so give me the UC San Diego. I'm going with the 12-5 upset here. Again, I'm no betting. You're going to find I'm not betting a lot of these games. A lot of volatile stuff going on with some of these. So one of the reasons why these 5-12 matchups that, the last couple of years it did kind of level off a little bit, but I think it's going to be back to some of these 12 seeds. Well, you'll see there's a favored game in this 12 seeds on one of these regions where the 12 seed is favored over the 5 seed. So what happens is the 5 seed is a either downturning big school, and the 12 seed a lot of time is a mid-major that is a really good mid-major. So that's why you get these games being so close. But yeah, give me San Diego.
Well said, Kev. Well said. Student coming in, the San Diego Toreros. What's a Triton? I don't know if Toreros is Spanish for Triton. I took French in high school. I also know that student is fluent in French, so don't come at me. Just leave me alone, all right?
Will.
The last time that UC San Diego lost was back in January 18th, and it was only by 4 points on the road to one of their rivals, UC Riverside. So this team, man, they know how to win. They're a great team. I wish that they would have been matched up with someone different. Michigan is rolling into the tournament after winning the Big Ten. I feel like it's a terrible matchup for UC San Diego. When I said they messed some things up, I wish that UC San Diego was maybe even a higher seed. and just playing someone different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like the matchup. I don't think they did them any favors, which you don't need to be doing people favors. I understand all that. I get it. I wanted to see something different is all. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Where's my sheet? There we go. Texas A&M versus Yale. Another game in Denver. A&M laying 7. Kev, give me your thoughts on this to start.
So I've got A&M moving on. This Yale team is a really good coach team. They this is not probably what most people would think of a a Yale program from let's say 5 years ago. They've got some players on this team. I actually like Yale to cover in this. Yeah, I like Texas A&M to move on though.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I actually laid $1.70 for Yale to win the Ivy League championship. Fun fact, only 4 teams play in the Ivy League championship, and the favorite typically does not win. I just think the Yale team was head and shoulders above. I did not give that play out. I feel like I just can't subject anyone. Maybe just Jake and Chase are the two guys, two people that look at my plays on X. I can't throw out a $1.70 favorite out there. But hey, it came home, and we like to make money. That's what it's all about. So, I got my number here, Kev. I got Texas A&M winning by 9.1 points. So this is a tricky one for me. A&M's form has been up and down, right? And I didn't like their tournament, but I mean, they beat Auburn not too long ago, right?
That might, yeah, it was a year ago.
It was 3 games ago.
Oh, I thought you were talking about last year's Auburn tournament loss.
Oh no! Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yale beat Auburn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
Yep.
Texas
I'm sorry.
A&M.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
So I mean, but listen to this. This is what I'm talking about. So this is their 2, 4, 6 last 7 games, including the tournament. Lost to Mississippi State, lost to Tennessee, lost to Vandy, lost to Florida, and then they beat Auburn. They beat LSU, and then they lose to Texas in the dang tournament. Now, earlier this year, they smashed Texas, but then I watched this game at Texas. They end up losing by a point, and they lost in the last couple minutes. They lost to Texas twice, this Texas A&M team. Something's not gelling. So man, I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on that or not. Fuck it. Give me Yale. I'm taking Yale to advance here, dude. Boom.
Really? Okay.
First upset right there. Yale's getting another one, dude. Yale knocked off Auburn last year. Yale's going to come back into the tournament this year. Give me Yale. Give me the points.
Good old Yale.
Let's do it. Yale on the money line, dude. I love it. That's the first one. Banger. You got to be careful now. I got a full disclosure. I didn't bet that, but I'm taking them to move in this bracket that we're doing on the show. Okay. And next week over week, we're going to go back. We're going to look at all of our picks, see where we were right, see where we were wrong. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is why we do it. This is why we do the tournament, man. We fucking love this shit. So I think I immediately regret that decision.
That's all right. On 5 of your other brackets, you got A&M. You're good.
100%. Good point. You got to cast a wide net. Cast a wide net, people. If you're able to put multiple brackets into a contest, put multiple brackets in.
Yep.
The games that are coin flips for you, flip a damn coin each time. It's okay. The odds are probably the same at the end of the day. No one is that good of a handicapper. Let's keep it moving here. Ole Miss is going to be playing the winner of San Diego State and UNC. I don't need to see a spread on this game. We're not going to know it till that game completes. I got Ole Miss beating both of these teams.
Yep.
Ole Miss is going to be laying points. I think I'm going to lay the points to them as well. I really like what Ole Miss has done down the stretch. Iowa State is laying 13.5 points versus Lipscomb. I laid the 13.5 with Iowa State. My number is closer to 15, so a little bit of value there. But one thing you're going to find in these opening round games, opening tournament games, these big favorites, I feel like they cover for the most part. You're going to see some 30, 40-point wins by some of these teams. There is no letting up. There is no we need to rest. This is it. They're going to give it everything that they got. Iowa State they do have the guy. What's the guy that's hurt? Do you have his name?
Yeah, so we got two guys. Kashawn Gilbert, muscle
That's the big
strain.
one.
He is out for the tournament.
Yep.
And then Taman Lipsy is groin. He's questionable for the first round. So not sure how big of a deal they're going to try to, do they think they could skirt by this game without him and give him a little more rest? I guess we'll see.
Probably, if I had to guess. I don't think Lipscomb is gonna. I just don't think they have the firepower to really do.
Yeah,
a whole
so
lot here.
I basically on my notes I've got Iowa State is a physical team in general. Anyway, I just don't think Lipscomb can match up physically for two halves against Iowa State, even though they're banged up.
I agree. They had an awesome game in the Big 12 tournament versus BYU. BYU pulled it out 96-92. I think this team is going to be ready, man. They beat Arizona recently. They lost to BYU by 3 points again, just like 4 games before that too. So I like this Iowa State team a lot. Up and down season. The start of 2025, it was kind of rough for them. They lost to Auburn by 2 points earlier in the year. The team can play, man. They beat Marquette. They beat Baylor, and Baylor was ranked. They beat Kansas. They beat Texas Tech, Utah, UCF. They beat Arizona. I mean, they're a good squad. They just need to show up right now. I don't think they can make it very deep, unfortunately, because I think the injuries are going to hinder them a little bit. But I got Iowa State. I'm laying the minus 13.5 with Iowa State. And I got them moving on. So a couple more here in the South, Kev. We got Marquette and New Mexico. This was a tough game for me to handicap. Yeah, Marquette is laying 3.5 points. Any thought here? 7-10, 7 Marquette, 10 New Mexico.
Yeah, this was a tough for me. I've liked Marquette all year. Shaka Smart,
Same.
always been a fan of his. But man, New Mexico, their pace, man, they get up and down. I've actually got New Mexico moving on, which I did not think I was going to do. So yeah, I've got New Mexico moving on. A little fast-paced action. See if they can, kind of beat Shaka at his old game I used to run back in the day. But yeah, I like New Mexico in this one.
I like that. New Mexico beat UCLA, number 22 UCLA, earlier in the season. They lost to St. John's pretty handedly. They beat VCU. They beat Colorado State. They went 1-2 versus Boise State. They lost to Boise State in the tournament. They lost to them late in the season. Boise State team that is first 4 out, but has 2 wins over this New Mexico team, who is a 10 seed.
10 seed.
Sometimes it's hard for me sometimes, man. I guess I don't have enough quotrons and analytics and technology that they have to make.
Here's the problem: is you got Dickie V, God bless him, comes out. He's 80 years old, and he's like, North Carolina passes the eye test. That's why they're in. No,
that's it. That's the explanation.
If you watch them play all year, there is nothing about them that passed the eye test.
Dickie V Dude,
And the
that's the
problem
perfect
is,
analogy for North Carolina right there. Old ass
the
Dickie V is
problem
saying that North Carolina passes the eye test. Yeah, dude, it's because you're blind, bro. Like you can't
all
see.
these
Like they
guys
suck.
sitting in that room are of the same ilk. They're of the same generation.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. Anyway, that's all I got on that.
Watch North Carolina rip off like 3
Oh,
wins.
it'll
in the
happen.
tournament
I'm
now,
telling
dude.
you, it'll happen. Yeah.
It is a lot of
and hey,
adversity.
but both things can be true. They didn't
Yeah.
deserve to get in, but doesn't mean
Right.
they can't go on a run. I mean, it happens every
Absolutely.
year. So
Absolutely. Well said. Marquette team. I like this Marquette team a lot. Early wins versus George Mason, Maryland, Purdue, Georgia. They lost a close one. Iowa State. They beat Wisconsin. And then obviously the Big East was a little bit down this year. Did they end up beating St. John's? No, they played St. John's 3 times and could not get over the hump. Whew. Man, I think this is tough, man. This is a tough pick. Where's this game being played? Cleveland?
I was trying to see where Marquette's Kempom ranking is. So they're 10, 20, 32.
I'm taking Marquette to get 1 win in the tournament. Yep. Marquette's getting a win here. I'm taking them to advance. Who are you taking?
New Mexico.
Are you filling out a bracket or do you have one filled out?
I've already got it filled out.
Perfect. I'm
got it
filling
filled out
one
to
out
the end.
live right now. Last one in the South here for the first games up. Michigan State versus Bryant. Michigan State is laying 18 points. My numbers got them closer to about 16 and a half. Might be a little bit of value with Bryant. Unfortunately, they're getting a team that just got booted from the Big Ten tournament as favorites. I think Michigan State's going to be pissed. Obviously, they're going to win in advance. Do you think they're going to cover, Kev?
What spread did you have on that?
18.
I did not have one.
18 for Michigan State and Bryant.
So I did hear a couple of people say they thought Bryant might have been the best 15 seed out there.
Okay.
So
is that like being the tallest midget?
Yeah, kind of. So I mean, they could cover 18. That get Izzo going for that second round. Hey, there's not too many other coaches you want on a quick turnaround than Izzo in the tournament setting. So maybe the Michigan State don't cover this one and they win big in the second round. That might be my thought on that.
They lost to St. John's by 22 earlier in the year. They lost to Grand Canyon by 50 plus.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh. So Michigan State, I think, is going to cover this. They're just, yeah, man. UB beat them. Not great, man. Oh, no, they beat UB. I'm sorry. Okay. UB had a very down year. They lost to St. Bonaventure by 15. I don't even think Bonnie's didn't even make the tournament, man.
No.
Hate to see it. St. Bonaventure is about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think it's south of Buffalo.
Is it?
Been there before. Yep. Shout out if Sean's watching. Him and I used to go to St. Bonaventure. Not for school. We were not enrolled, but we had a good time.
Good time. Yeah.
So, okay. Let's finish out this bracket. We got Auburn playing Louisville. Kev?
Well, I got Auburn playing Creighton, but I've got Auburn winning that one. Moving on.
Same. Yep, same. Neither of those teams, I think, has enough firepower to put it on Auburn.
Nope.
I got Michigan playing Yale. Who do you have?
I've got UC San Diego playing A&M. I've got A&M moving on.
Okay, I got Michigan moving on to play Auburn. Ole Miss playing Iowa State. Who do you have? Okay. Who do you have?
Same. I got Ole Miss moving on.
Same. Okay. Marquette playing Michigan State is what I have.
I got New Mexico against Michigan State, and I got Michigan State moving on.
Same. Auburn playing Michigan is what I have, and I am once again taking Auburn.
I got Auburn playing A&M. I got Auburn moving on to the Elite Eight.
Okay. I got Ole Miss playing Michigan State. I believe you do too.
Yep.
This is where I want to get a little funky, dude. This is where I want Ole Miss. I want Ole Miss to keep going. I just this Michigan State team, though. You have Ken Palm pulled up. What are they at?
Yep.
What is Michigan State offensive Ken Palm rating?
Ooh, offensive. Michigan State. So let's see their offensive rating. Is that 118? Or no. Hold on. 26th and 27th in offensive. Dude, this spreadsheet for Ken Palm is crazy to look at. Oh my God.
Niner.
27 offense.
Ole Miss has wins versus Colorado State, BYU, Louisville. Let's see. Obviously, they played in the SEC this year. They got a win versus Bama. They beat Texas. They beat Kentucky. They beat Oklahoma. They beat Tennessee. They barely lost to Auburn.
Michigan State's defensive Ken Palm rating is 5. So
ooh,
they're legit on the defensive side. So
this is a tough game for me. I don't know where to put these two.
So Ole Miss.
I like this Ole Miss team.
So let me see here. I just had it. 31 offensively and 25th defensively for Ole Miss.
Give me Ole Miss, man. I'm taking Ole Miss, and we're gonna have an SEC little showdown here. You taking Michigan State?
I got Michigan State and Auburn Elite Eight. Yep.
All right. I got an epic game here. It's going to be an awesome game to watch. I got Auburn beating Ole Miss to advance to the Final Four from the South region.
And I have Michigan State beating Auburn to go to the Final Four.
What?
Yep. I tried finding a spot.
Show bet.
Show bet. Now that you say that, I think you have not paid up for our last show bet.
What was it?
What was that? I don't remember.
Me.
I think we had one. Yeah, I think we had
wasn't me, it was Matt. Pinto Matt.
Me and you had a show bet on something. I can't remember what it was now.
No.
Yeah.
No, we've done 2 show bets. We've done 2 show bets. I won on air Scooby-Doo, and then you wore Buffalo Bills face paint. We didn't do a third one.
I think
the third one was Matt. I always pay my bets.
No. I don't think. I'm not saying that you didn't pay. I think we just forgot about it because I forgot about it. And I think there's something out there. I think there is.
Show bet that there's not a show bet, dude.
I don't want to go digging to go find it. So no.
It would have been after Pinto Matt. So if everyone's
it was.
Do we have the Pinto here for the people that don't know the Pinto Matt bet? This has not been paid yet. Matt, if you're watching, we're on to you. The weather in Buffalo. I'm going to check the weather, but let's play this clip real quick, Kev. I'm going to play it. We were just in our group chat talking shit as we do. Matt expressed his love for the Steelers to win outright this weekend in Baltimore, to which I replied, show bet. Immediately had to hop on that. The value was way
good job, Matt.
Value is way too good. If you listen to No One to Blame, you know that we've been wanting to do a Pinto Ron bet for the longest time. If you're not familiar with Pinto Ron, if you're not in Bill's Mafia, Pinto Ron gets covered with ketchup and mustard at every single tailgate before the game. Show bet one more time. Matt has got the Pittsburgh Steelers to win outright. I've got the Baltimore Ravens to win outright. Loser will get Pinto Ron live on air once the weather hits 50 degrees in Buffalo, New York, wearing the other team's jersey. Matt, it's a bet.
It's a bet. It's a bet. We got to remember though, Zay Flowers is out this week, and you got to remember Mike Tomlin's record against Baltimore in the playoffs.
Yep, so. And you got to remember that Pittsburgh blows.
The last part, and you got to remember that Pittsburgh blows.
I want everyone to hop on X at Matt Digert, MattDiegert, at Matt Digert. Listen, it's going to be 55 in Buffalo on Tuesday. It's going to be 66 in Buffalo on Wednesday, 58 on Thursday. Matt, pay up.
Need to pay up Saturday. Right?
Pay up.
Shows on Saturday, right? Their show.
Come on, man. Pay up. Anyways, let's keep it moving.
Hitting the West.
We're going to hit the West. Yep. The West I thought was one of the easiest paths for a 1 seed to move forward. That bracket that we just went through, the South, I thought the South had some firepower in it. I don't think the West stacks up nearly as much. Let's go through it. So let's go. I'm just going to go down in order here. Florida versus Norfolk State. Florida laying 28.5. That is a ton of points, but I definitely recommend laying them instead of taking them. Better odds of Florida covering this than Norfolk State. Not going to spend any more time on that.
Nope.
Good game here, dude. And this is in Raleigh, North Carolina. Good game here. UConn. Yep. Number 8, UConn versus number 9, Oklahoma. Man, this Oklahoma team, they're feisty. They played in an awesome Big 12 this year. UConn, your boy Hurley. Well, what are you
Hurley
here?
Fuck a Hurley. Yeah, give me Oklahoma to move on. I might like UConn plus 4.5 though. They like to muck it up and yeah.
UConn
I think
is minus 4.5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind then. I'm sorry. Oklahoma to move on.
I'm taking UConn to move on. I actually have their number closer to winning, closer to 7. I have not bet this number yet. I'm going to wait and see if I can get some Oklahoma money to come in and push this UConn line down to like 3.5, 3. Move it closer to that number. I might play like a UConn money line at that point. But no bet on this right now for me. Colorado State is a 2.5 point favorite. Everyone is down on Memphis. Everyone just can't wait to fade Memphis. And everyone's on this red hot Colorado State team, Kev. It's a 12-5 matchup. Colorado State, as a 12 seed, is favorites over Memphis, the 5 seed. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, this is kind of like we hit on earlier. You get a really good mid-major team, playing a kind of struggling, Memphis squad. Memphis has got some injuries. They've got Tyrese Hunter is to be determined left foot injury. That'd be big for them. I got Colorado. You got me back?
You're breaking up. There you go.
You got me back?
Yep.
Only thing that would scare me about Colorado State moving on, Memphis has B.J. Haggerty, Dude had 42 points against Wichita. He can get a bucket. He can go off. So, can a guy like that win you one
42.
game? Yeah. Can a guy like that win you a game? Absolutely. That'd be the only thing about Memphis that scares me. But give me Colorado State to move on.
I'm on Memphis, dude. I'm taking Memphis. I'm taking Memphis with the 3.5. I think, what did I get it at? I got Memphis.
2.5 is what I see.
I bet them at +3.
Okay.
So that's a wager that I placed. I got it at +3. The line is now 2.5. The number is closer. My number is closer to Colorado State by 2. But really, I just think so many people are down on Memphis. This Memphis team, dude, has some big wins this year. Missouri, San Fran, number 2 UConn, Michigan State, Clemson at Clemson. Dude, they beat Ole Miss. I just think that too many people are down on them. They beat that Wichita State game that you were just talking about. I actually had Wichita State +9.5. They lost by 3. Shout out me. Follow me on X, do_Neffy. Get up some units like me. Yeah, I'm moving on. I'm taking Memphis here, dude. Give me Memphis. Chalky little bracket, but yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Number 4, Maryland. Number 12, Grand Canyon. Maryland laying 10.5 points. My numbers got it closer to 12. I know Grand Canyon is a mid-major darling. I believe that they win 1 or 2 tournament games last year. I believe.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I want to say that I want to take it, but when you're looking like Vegas knows what they're talking about too. And it's just hard for me to a 10.5 point underdog. I don't know. I see it. What do you see here? Give me your thoughts on it.
I like Maryland. Maryland's got a couple bigs, man. Derek Queen is double-double every night. He should be a top 5 pick. He's a freshman. I actually I had to rein myself in a little bit and marked off. I initially had Maryland going to the Final Four, and I was like, I got to back off of this. So I backed off of that, but I do have them moving on in this one. I like them to cover in this one. I'm a huge Maryland fan. I like Maryland a lot right now. Got some freshmen that can play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Maryland going on too. This is, dude, awesome game here. We got number 6 Missouri versus number 11 Drake. Drake is 30-3. This is going to be another very, very popular underdog upset here. Missouri is laying 6.5 points. My number has got it closer to 8. And typically, if I see it, 1.5 to 2 points of value, I try and play that. But I'm not touching this one. I am not touching this at all.
Yeah.
I just want to sit back and watch. These are more contrasting styles than Michigan, UC, San Diego, Texas A&M, and Yale. We got a team in Missouri who wants to push the ball, push the pace, right? And then you got a team like Drake that just wants to slow it down.
Yeah.
Beat you up. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I would stay away from betting this game. I do like Mizzou to move on, but I tend to think when you get in these situations with, Mizzou, fast-paced, bigger school, you got Drake, smaller school, slower pace. I feel like sometimes these fast-paced teams can kind of overwhelm these teams sometimes. So, yeah, give me Mizzou to move on, but more of a game to watch than to put some money on, though.
Man, I am torn here. This might be Missouri. Let's see, their last 2, 4, 6, 7 games, 2-5, their last 7 games, with wins versus South Carolina and Mississippi State, losses to Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and then Florida smashed them by 14. They don't play a ton of defense either, do they, in Missouri? I'm going.
They're
Drake,
wanting to get
dude.
up.
I'm going to take the defensive team in the tournament. Give me Drake.
Yeah, I went back and forth on that one. That's a
tough one for me. I could be completely off on this. Now, I mean, listen, Missouri also has some major wins this year too. Let's not count them completely out. They beat a number 1 Kansas team. They beat a number 5 Florida team by 1 point earlier this year at Florida. Arkansas, they beat Ole Miss. They beat Mississippi State. Another Oklahoma. They beat Bama. They beat Bama by 12 points, which was insane. But then they went on a little skid, man. Getting into the tournament, going on a skid, then having to play Drake, this defensive team. Give me Drake. Got a little ADD there, didn't I? Next game up, Texas Tech, number 3 Texas Tech versus number 14 UNC Wilmington. Texas Tech laying 15.5, right around where I have that number at.
Yep.
Pretty easy one here. I got Tech moving on.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, no further thoughts. Number 7 Kansas playing number 10 Arkansas. This is another good game. Kansas laying 4.5. That's where I have the number. I am inclined to take the points here with this scrappy Arkansas team, I think. It's a no bet for me right now. I'm going to see which way the line moves.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on the spread? Who you got
again, probably a no bet, but I think I like Arkansas to cover. I actually got Arkansas winning outright, moving on in this game. It's okay. Not a Bill Self fan, and this Kansas team, you just don't know what you're going to get. Same with Arkansas. I get that. They're kind of the same way, very similar. Either one of them could go on a run and win a couple games or get blown out in the first one. So give me Cal. I just want to see Coach Cal and Patino hook it up in the second round. That's what I'm banking on.
No, I'm with you there, man. Oh, man. That's a tough game. The more we look at it and the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, okay, this is a tricky game. I'm taking the points with Arkansas, I think. Haven't bet it yet. If it gets up to, if we start seeing some money on Kansas, I think I'm gonna hit Arkansas. Yeah, I'm gonna have Arkansas just move on. Let's be done with it. Boom. St. John's playing Omaha. St. John's laying 18.5. I bet this. I already bet St. John's minus 18.5. My number is closer to 21.5. I think St. John's is going to blow the doors off Omaha. You have a thought?
I tend to agree with that. Omaha's been a good story. They've been doing some trash can celebrations in the locker room, but when it comes
to that trash can when you lose,
when it comes down to it, Patino has always done this, similar to Syracuse back in the day. Syracuse plays that zone, always makes it tough on teams because they don't see it all the time. Where Patino, not necessarily the zone, but he will come out and full court press these teams like they have never seen. And so if they get in trouble and they start pressing Omaha ain't going to be able to handle it. So, I agree with that. St. John's big.
Maybe even a St. John's. So, like, if you got these big numbers, if you don't want to lay that big number and you got a team, like a nice mismatch like this, do St. John's first half. I haven't looked at the first half numbers yet, but I can already tell you now that I'm betting it's probably going to be St. John's like minus 11, minus 12. It's not going to be minus 8 or minus 9. They're probably going to be favored to win bigger. Patino
not round one. Not round one.
St. John's minus 35. What up, Haj? Thanks for stopping by, Haj. Haj coming in. If you're listening at home talking about Patino wearing the white suit, give him St. John's minus 35. Alt line. I love it. All right, Kev, let's finish out the West bracket here. Florida. I got Florida playing UConn. You got Florida playing Oklahoma. Who do you have? You have Florida moving on?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think UConn or Oklahoma has the team this year to really do much with Florida. I do have UConn playing them, though. Florida's a really good team, man. Florida's a really good team. I got Memphis playing Maryland next round, and I have Maryland advancing.
I got Maryland, Colorado State, and I've got Maryland moving on.
Okay. I got Drake playing Texas Tech. And, oh, man. You go ahead first with yours, because I don't know yet.
All right. I've got Mizzou and Texas Tech. I've got Texas Tech moving on in that one.
I'm going to take them to move on, too, but tough game there. Tough game.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a close one. I think Drake or Mizzou, I think both of those teams can give Texas Tech fits because they both. Oh, sorry. My dog's having. You hear that?
Yeah.
Hang on.
He's wanting to play.
No, he's sleeping. He's having a dream.
No. Well, wake up, bud. Wake up, bud.
He's a hound dog if you can't hear him. I got a German short hair pointer. He's chasing a squirrel or something, dude. Hopefully you got him. Sorry about that. Let's keep it moving. I got Texas Tech advancing. How about Arkansas versus St. John's? That's what I got.
St. John's.
You have Kansas, or you had Arkansas as well?
Arkansas, St. John's, same.
Yep.
St. John's moving on.
I got St. John's moving on as well. So Florida versus Maryland is what I have. And Unfortunately, again, dude, I'm going chalk. I don't care. Florida's a squad.
This is where I initially had Maryland with the upset, and I
Stick
switched
your guns, man.
Nah, I too many freshmen. So, yeah, I like Florida to beat Maryland, but, man, that'd be a good game.
Hell yeah. Texas Tech versus St. John's. This is a doozy right here.
St. John's, baby.
Man, I don't know about that.
I
don't know. Why? Can you tell me? Give me some feedback.
I've been on St. John's all year. I've said how much I think Patino is like underrated as an all-time coach and all that. But man, looking at my Arizona squad, they beat Texas Tech twice this year, and Arizona's so up and down. I couldn't get that out of my memory earlier when I was watching them. I like St. John's a lot.
That's fair. And they played Houston tough. Texas Tech did.
Yeah, no, they've had some
Houston's
tough games.
Squad. Losing to Arizona twice does not bode well for them. Because I'm with you. I've watched a lot of Arizona this year.
They're as bipolar as they get. Caleb Love is a terrible starting guard in NCAA college basketball.
I'm going to keep it rolling. Let's get Patino. St. John's playing Florida. Are you going to do it? Are you going to take St. John's over Florida?
That's where it ends. I got Florida. I initially had Maryland beating St. John's, but now I've got Florida beating St. John's to get to the Final Four.
I do as well. We had some upsets along the way, but when it all comes down to it, I got Florida coming out of the West, dude. Yep. They're a juggernaut, man. I just think the West is probably the weakest. I think the West. Yeah, I think the West is the weakest.
I think we're getting, in my opinion, I think we might be getting ready to get into the weakest one in the East. But
okay. Good segue. Let's get into it. Let's start it off, man. Duke is going to be playing either American or Mount St. Mary's. Not much to talk about here. Going to be a massive favorite. Cooper Flagg probably not going to play this game. I think we can all but confirm that. And the game's in Raleigh too, which is kind of close to Duke, right?
Yep. They're getting a
Duke,
home
Duke,
game.
Duke by a Billy. Mississippi State versus Baylor. Mississippi State minus 1.5 point favorite here. Oh man, I wanted to take Mississippi State originally just because they had some nice little wins. But both these teams, the Big 12, I would say the Big 12 and SEC, two best conferences in basketball. Would you tend to agree?
Yep.
So I think when you have a coin flip game like this, I want to default. And Colorado State is favored at Haj.
12 seed favored. Yep.
Yep, you're absolutely right. I'm going to take Mississippi State here.
Same. No bet. I get moving on.
Yep. How about Oregon playing Liberty? Oregon minus 6.5.
I've got Oregon moving on. So Oregon will play multiple different defenses. They'll mix it up a lot. And again, in these tournament settings, if they're not in your conference and you don't see them twice a year, every year, it can cause problems for a team like Liberty or, some of these smaller schools who maybe don't see the complex defenses like Oregon's going to throw at them.
Yeah.
But I will say everybody that I listened to today is all over Oregon. Everybody. Dude, there was multiple podcasts I listened to today, had them in the Final Four. Crazy. Yeah, so I got to dig into that a little bit. I want to see where all that's kind of stemming from because I haven't really been on Oregon for most of the year. I do want to definitely dig into that, but I've got Oregon moving on.
Listen, Oregon went on a big losing streak. They lost Minnesota, UCLA, Nebraska, Michigan, Michigan State. Then they turned it up to end the year, dude. They fired off wins versus Northwestern, Rutgers, Iowa, Wisconsin, USC, Indiana, Washington, Indiana again, eventually losing to Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament. Oregon can play, man. Oregon has got a win versus A&M. They've got a win versus Alabama, right? Which is huge. They beat Maryland earlier this year. Yeah, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. Oregon, I'm taking Oregon over Liberty.
Yep.
But I got to plug my laptop in. Sorry. But as far as them moving forward even further than that, to your point, I'd love to dig in a little bit more. Next game up, Kev, we have Arizona laying 13.5 versus Akron. Give me your thoughts on that.
I think I like Akron to cover, Arizona to move on. This Arizona team has been, so hit or miss. They beat some top teams, lost to some bad teams. Their guard play with Caleb Love is his shot. He might have the worst shot selection from a shooting guard in the NCAA this year. He shoots them out of a lot of games, and they just cannot rein him in and kind of get him in his best spot all the time. And he will cause them to lose a game they shouldn't lose. I just hope it ain't the first round.
I would love this. It's hard for me to take Akron to move on here, but I'm going to play Akron plus the points. This is a game that I'm going to wait. I think you're going to get some public money on Arizona. I'm going to wait for that line. Give me, hopefully Akron around the 14, 15 points. I think Akron covers this all day. I think this is going to be a scare for Arizona. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, one of the, even if, especially when you're filling out your bracket, if you got a team that you don't think is going to win that second game, you have a better shot at taking that dog and picking up some points. If you take Akron this round, I think Oregon's going to beat Arizona anyway. So, take Akron, throw Akron on your bracket. You know what I mean?
Yep. I do think that Arizona has too much talent to lose the game completely outright. But man, I
Agreed.
don't.
Yeah.
Sprinkle the Akron money line, dude. Sprinkle that Akron money line. Don't hold back now. Right to Kevin's point. If you're gonna write them down in your bracket, put $5 on that money line. Put $50 on Akron plus 15 once it gets there. BYU versus VCU. Banger game. I know I said that a bunch of times.
This is a good one.
Awesome game, dude. Awesome game. I love that these two teams are playing each other because I think BYU turned it on late, and VCU needs a good test, and I think they're going to get it here from BYU. Who do you have? Who do you have winning the game, advancing, and what do you think about the 3 points?
I like VCU to cover that +3. I like VCU to win outright.
Woo!
I heard a guy today say this might be the best VCU team in VCU history, and they've had some teams that have made some tournament runs. So initially, I thought I was going to be all over BYU in this one, but no, I'm taking VCU.
I don't know, man.
Decisions. What you got?
I got BYU. I got BYU, and I don't know that it's going to be that close, to be honest with you. The A10 I think is down as a whole. Start there. So saying that it's the best VCU team, it's like, well, they were tied with George Mason 15-3 in the conference. Dayton is down, Loyola Chicago is down, St. Joseph's is down, Bonaventure is down. They lost to Bonaventure. They lost to New Mexico. They lost to Seton Hall. They lost to Nevada. I mean, they have a win versus Colorado State. I'm looking back on their schedule. Their recent form has been good, but again, it's A10. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Man. They lost to Dayton late. BYU's just they've played much more a better schedule. And I think they're a more complete team. And I don't care if this is the best VCU team. This might be one of the best BYU teams we've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah. You're probably right.
How about that? Who are you listening to? Tell them to put our podcast.
Wrong show. Yeah.
No one to blame. Don't come yelling at me when VCU smokes them by 10. I don't want to hear it. Wisconsin laying 16.5 points versus Montana. And this is up in altitude. This is up in Denver. Montana's got an advantage there.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not to go to the moon for that to be a high enough altitude.
I've got a future on Wisconsin to win this whole thing. I am definitely taking Wisconsin here. I don't think Montana's got enough juice. I don't know if Montana has the juice to cover this number. This is a number that I will be looking at. My number was like 16.6. The spread is 16.5, but I just don't see Montana doing enough here, man.
Nope.
St. Mary's. Yeah, agreed. St. Mary's laying 3.5 against Vanderbilt. Tricky little matchup here, Kev. What are your thoughts?
So, depending on who you've got winning this matchup, take a guess how slow St. Mary's tempo is.
I know this. It's like bottom 10. Is it not?
They're like,
would you say top
300.
10,
they're like 300 something slowest tempo in the country. So I've got Vandy moving on, but if I don't know who you've got, but if you got St. Mary's moving on to play Bama, it does not get any more. Bama is 1. St. Mary's is almost dead last in pace. You want to talk about contrast? Second round, that could be a good one. But I got Vandy.
Mary's moving on. Fair enough. I got St. Mary's moving on. This game could get ugly for Vanderbilt, I think. And I like this Vanderbilt team. It's a 10-7 matchup. This St. Mary's team is good, dude. You want to talk about, best teams in a long time, blah, blah, blah. This is the best St. Mary's team that I've seen in a long time. I know they had an early disappointing loss to Arizona State, a loss to Boise State, Utah State, San Fran, and then they lost to Gonzaga, but they beat Zaga twice. They beat USC, Nebraska, Akron. They didn't play a ton outside of the WCC. Sorry, I'm going through their schedule here just to double check, but oh man, fuck. The more I look at this, dude, the more I'm like Vandy. The more I like Vandy, the more I look at it, man. But I like the St. Mary's team. I'm sticking to my guns. I think St. Mary's.
Yeah, Vandy's a little more battle tested playing in, I think playing in that conference. I'll roll with them, but
dude,
yeah.
I'm rattling off. Vandy has got wins. Vandy played Drake earlier this year. They lost by 11. But Vandy has got wins versus, you ready? Tennessee, a number 6 Tennessee team, a number 9 Kentucky team. They beat Texas. Number 24 at the time, Ole Miss. Number 12, A&M. Number 14, Missouri. But then this is what I don't like, okay? They come into the tournament losing to Arkansas, Georgia, and Texas. The closest game there was against Texas. It was a 7-point loss.
Yeah, they were all tournament teams, though. I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. They're on a losing streak coming in, but
yeah, but those were all bubble teams, though, too.
Yeah.
They're tournament teams. Those are bubble teams. Like, so you go on, you have this, nice 3-game win streak, and then you kind of stumble into the tournament. I don't like that. I'm gonna take St. Mary's in a close game here. Alabama versus Robert Morris. I have a bet in this game. Alabama is laying 22.5 points. I bet Robert Morris, but I got it at 23.5. I got the number closest to Alabama to win by about 19.7 is a number that I figured out with my Quotrons. All my computers, all my monitors. No, I just found some value here. I just if Bob Morris can just, if they could just, I don't even want to say keep up, but just like don't let it get out of control too early.
Yeah,
I think they can keep it within 23 points. I think clearly Alabama is moving on here. But I think Bob Morris can keep it within the number. I like that number a lot. I found some value there.
Yeah, so Bama has got Grant Nelson's got a leg injury. He's questionable. Again, in this matchup, probably isn't a big deal. Only thing, you talk about some of these, 14, 15, 16 seeds that tend to maybe move on, like might have one guy who's like, either an NBA type caliber player or maybe they got a big or something that kind of stands out. Robert Morris has got a 7-foot big, like a European guy. I can't think of his name, but a guy like that goes off. But then again, can a guy like that keep up with Bama's pace? I don't know. But yeah, no, I think Bama rolls in this one. They're moving on, but that'd be the only hope they would have to cover. Is if they get one guy kind of go off and keep them tight.
Yeah, yep. I think it's this could get ugly. I may regret that decision, but it's hey, you can't win them all. And if this is one that I don't win, I'm fine with it. Let's get the bracket going here for the East. Ready? I got Duke playing Mississippi State.
Same. Duke moving on.
Duke moving on. Right. No brainer.
Yep.
I got Oregon playing Arizona.
Same.
I got Oregon moving on.
I got Oregon moving on.
Okay. Look at us, Kev. I got BYU playing Wisconsin.
Got VCU in Wisconsin.
I have Wisconsin moving on.
I have VCU moving on.
Whoa. Mid-majors breaking through. I like that. St. Mary's versus Bama. You have Vanderbilt playing Bama?
I got Vandy versus Bama, but I got Bama moving on.
Yeah, I do too. I'm going to take Bama moving on. I want to take St. Mary's there. Bama's just a more battle-tested, better team, I think, overall. Duke and Oregon. I got Duke.
Same. Duke.
Wisconsin and Alabama.
I got VCU and Bama, but I got Bama moving on.
I
tried finding Bama a spot to lose because I was a little off of them, but that's why I think this is kind of a weak. I think this might be my weakest bracket. I feel because I just don't think Bama's rolling right now as a 2 seed. Vandy beats Bama again this year. All right, football and basketball.
All right, Haj.
That's crazy.
You think they can get Diego Pavia to come play, dude?
He could probably hoop.
No.
Yeah, he could probably hoop.
I got Wisconsin knocking Bama off, dude. I love this Wisconsin team. So I got Wisconsin playing Duke. Who do you have?
Duke, Bama. I got Duke moving on.
You know we're taking 1 seeds all the way around.
Hey, dude, when you get to your Final Four, it's got to be a top 2 or 3 seed. You got to go chalk there, man. So, yeah, I'd hear you. Couple upsets early, chalk late.
Is Cooper Flagg coming back?
Round 2, I would say. And they're, Cooper Flagg's Cooper Flagg. I get it. He's going to be a top, pick in the draft. But the Malik Brown injury, he is the anchor of that defense. Like defensively, he doesn't score a lot. He doesn't do but defensively, he's he kind of anchors that, plays defense behind Cooper Flagg, and these guys let him play passing lanes, and he kind of cleans it up behind him. So if he's out, it might not show up in the stats, but that's a big injury for them too.
Give me Wisconsin to upset Duke. Move on to the Final Four. Yep. Let's keep it moving. Like I said earlier, I'm standing on my take from months ago that Duke's too young. Duke's too young. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Who have you played? Nobody. They're about to find out. Wisconsin's going to slap them. Houston playing SIU Edwardsville. Houston laying 28.5. Not much to talk about here.
Nah, Juwan Roberts sprained ankle for Houston, but again, don't matter round 1. I will say SIUE as my wife's alma mater. Yeah, SIUE Tigers have not been a D1 school for that long. So,
yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it's a good story. Bet on them several times this year. Houston has just got a squad, dude. Houston is good.
They'll swallow them up. Defensively, they'll just eat them up.
This bracket has got some firepower, dude. The Midwest has got some firepower. Gonzaga, number 8 Gonzaga versus number 9 Georgia. Gonzaga laying 6 points. Too many points for me. I'll tell you that right off the rip. I think Georgia can cover that number. It's hard to see Georgia beating Gonzaga, though.
I got Gonzaga moving on.
Yeah. And that next matchup, Houston-Gonzaga. We'll get to that in a bit, but that should be an awesome game. Clemson versus McNeese, 12-5. I'm sure a lot of people are, on McNeese. Clemson laying 7.5 points here. I got Clemson at -7. That was a bet on for me at 7. I got the number closer to Clemson winning by like 9.5, somewhere in that region. I know you can't win by a half point, but boom. Wisconsin.
Real quick
best
here.
I love that.
Glad he brought this up. When you've got 77% and higher free throw shooters as a team, that's your team number. Any of these tight spreads, dude, it will make the difference.
Yep.
So go look at some free throw percentage, team free throw shooting percentages of some of these games, and it can make a difference for sure.
If you got some coin flip games, go check out who shoots the better free throws and just take that team. Thank us later. You got to make your free throws in March, man. You have to. You're going to live and die by your free throws in March. Clemson, McNeese. I bet on Clemson. Obviously, I'm having them move forward. I'm assuming you are too. You there?
I'm here now. Man.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All good. I got Clemson moving on versus McNeese, assuming you do too.
Yep. McNeese, the McNeese head coach, I think, is a Clemson Tiger alum. I think I've seen that.
Of course. Next game up, Purdue laying 8 points versus High Point. I heard a lot of chatter about High Point. This, Purdue's an upset alert, blah, blah, blah. I got Purdue -7.5. I bet Purdue -7.5. I think Purdue's going to win by more than 10 here. Everyone wants to hate on Purdue. I just, High Point, good on them. 29-5 season. Purdue's not going to get clowned by High Point here. I don't think, man. They're going to get clowned by Clemson next round.
I got High Point moving on. I got High Point.
Why?
Because I don't think Purdue could beat Clemson anyway, so I'll take a shot on getting them that upset before Clemson beats either one of them.
Strategy, I like it. Illinois is going to be playing either Texas or Xavier. Kevin took Texas. I took Xavier. And I'm telling you right here, I got Xavier beating Illinois.
I got Texas beating Illinois.
Oh, so either way, we got Illinois going down. Haj coming in the chat. Be careful with Clemson. How come, Haj?
Clemson was on right on that borderline. Remember we talked about them 8 Ken Pom schools? They were right there.
Once we get to the Final Four, I'm going to bring that back up again. Yeah, they are right there. So I got Xavier moving on against Illinois. Kevin has got Texas beating Illinois. I love that. Good for us. So bet Illinois.
Yeah.
Kentucky is laying 10.5 points, and they're playing Troy. My number's got like 11.5. Not a bet on game for me, but I don't think Troy has the juice. Sorry, this is a very top heavy bracket. I got Kentucky moving on.
Yeah, I've got Kentucky moving on. Troy, yeah, I don't like Troy at all. Good point here. McNeese coach Will Wade won tournament games with VCU and LSU. And if I'm not mistaken, was he ran out of LSU for some shady business behind the scenes? Was that
I don't know.
He had something going on at LSU, but hey, you could pay him up front now. You ain't got to worry about doing that. So he should be good now. He will be coaching. He will be coaching somewhere else next year. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you watch.
Most
He'll
certainly
be at a bigger school.
Most certainly. He's probably got something in the wings already. Just hasn't said it.
Yep.
UCLA laying 5.5 to Utah State. I got Utah State +6. That's a bet on for me right there. I think UCLA wins this game, but I think Utah State keeps it close and covers.
I like Utah State. This UCLA team is young. Man, their coach, there's been a couple classic rants he's went on in press conferences this year. with this UCLA team, basically talking about
Traveling west to east.
Just that, but then like, basically talking about not being able to get on soft, like not being able to, like he's had some funny rants and so they're just a young team. So give me Utah State in that one.
I'm going to take them too. I like that. So I'm going to take Utah State +6. Probably going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on the money line there. Let's get a little 10-7 upset. Utah State. I dig it. Tennessee versus Wofford. Tennessee is laying 18.5. I got the number closer to 20. Probably going to end up betting Tennessee here. Yeah, actually, right now, because I don't want that number to change.
Yep. And he's right here. It would have been fine in an NIL world. He's right.
Yeah.
Like these coaches, he's good now. He'll be in the clear.
Exactly. Let's see what I got this Tennessee number at versus Wofford. Dude, Tennessee, this is such a mismatch here. I feel like this number should be a lot higher here. What do you know about this Wofford team, Kev?
Nothing more than they're going to get throttled by Tennessee by more than 18.5.
It's already at yeah. I'm gonna get it at 18.5. I'm gonna lock it in right now. Yep, Tennessee minus 18.5. Let me update the spreadsheet. That number is way too low, man. This is a good Tennessee team. This is a not very good Wofford team. Yeah, so I got 4 bets in the Midwest region, 1 in the East, a couple in the South, a couple in the West. I'll recap them all. Kev, let's finish out this this Midwest bracket and let's talk about the Final Four. I got Houston playing Gonzaga. I got Houston winning.
I've got Houston moving on.
Versus Gonzaga?
Gonzaga. Yep.
I got Clemson playing Purdue.
Got Clemson over.
Yeah, I got Clemson. That one makes me a little nervous. Hodge has got me nervous now. Hodge in the chat saying, "Why be careful with Clemson? Could Purdue beat Clemson? Yeah, maybe, but I'm gonna ride it out." I got Xavier playing Kentucky.
I've got Texas, Kentucky, and I've got Texas moving on.
What is Kentucky up to this year? Let's take a quick look. Kentucky beat Duke earlier this year.
Look that up. We got a couple injuries too. Lamont Butler should be available, and Jackson Rock.
Oh, nice little freeze point.
Robinson was the guy that was out for hurt late in the year, kind of on and off. But
Kevin, come back. I need this injury update. I think we lost Kevin there. Assuming that Kevin was talking about Kentucky. You back?
Yes.
Give me that injury, the second injury.
Jackson Robinson is the guy out for the year. He was a wrist injury, Kentucky.
I'm going to take Xavier over Kentucky here.
I got Texas over Kentucky.
All right. I'm down with that. Now, Kentucky's got some big wins early in the year, but late in the season, they beat Missouri. They beat Oklahoma. They beat Vandy. These are all tournament teams. They beat Tennessee. They beat Tennessee twice.
Really?
What do we do? They beat Florida? Dude, all right, scratch it out, dude. Kentucky's beating Xavier. No way. Kentucky's beating Xavier. You've got Texas beating Kentucky. I got Kentucky beating Xavier to move on. Tennessee versus Utah State. I got Tennessee.
Same.
Now, this is going to be interesting here. I'm going to start. So, Kentucky has beat Tennessee twice. Right? Well, now we got a rematch here on my bracket with Kentucky, Tennessee. Oh, dude. This could be the ultimate sneaky spot here. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, though. I'm taking Tennessee to advance.
Is it though?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Isn't
They
it?
say that, but do the numbers always bear that out? I don't know.
I don't know. See, but then, Kentucky has losses. They lost to Clemson. They lost to Ohio State, Georgia, Vandy, Arkansas, Texas. Who else did Kentucky lose to? Kentucky
All them teams are good teams, though, man.
I know.
Even the the ones who didn't get in the tournament were still bubble teams.
I really glossed over that.
SEC, man. It's gone.
Losing to Kentucky twice, though, has me very just perplexed here for Tennessee.
Nah, I got Tennessee moving on.
Ooh. Let's talk. Wow, I don't know.
Houston, Clemson, who you got? Houston, Clemson, who you got?
Give me Houston, of course.
Same.
Could Kentucky beat
Tennessee?
I got Houston beating Tennessee.
I've got Tennessee beating Houston.
All right, give me your final 4.
All right, Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Tennessee. Who you got?
Auburn, Wisconsin, Florida, and Houston. I got Auburn playing Florida. I got Wisconsin playing Houston. Kev, who do you have going to the national championship?
I have Michigan State playing Tennessee.
I have got Houston. You got Michigan State in the championship.
I told you I didn't like it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even like who I got winning it.
H to the Izzo. I don't know. Florida or Auburn? Give me Auburn versus Houston, and give me Houston to cut down the Nets.
I got Tennessee cutting them down.
Okay. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. The stat that we were talking about earlier, 23 out of the last 24 national championships were top 21 offense, top 31 defense for Ken Pom. The teams in this tournament that fit that criteria are Duke, Houston, Tennessee, Florida, Auburn, Gonzaga, Iowa State, Wisconsin. I will say
Michigan State is the one that doesn't fit that bill as far as my Final Four. What do you got?
Yep. I got all of them.
All of them?
Yeah, I got all of them. Now, I got some future bets. So I bet Michigan State. These are all 2 months ago, maybe a little bit more. And some of them are a little more recent, but I got some closing line value on a bunch of these. I got Michigan State plus 2,200. I got Iowa State plus 1,000. Obviously, don't have that one with the injuries anymore. I got Auburn plus 425. I think that one has dipped down to the 3s, 2s maybe at this point. Do you have the futures market in front of you?
No, I do not.
Can you pull it up real quick? Just type in
talking,
NCAA.
You're talking to win it all?
Odds. Yep. NCAA tournament odds. If you could find that real quick. I hit Wisconsin at plus 3,000, and this was when they were kind of starting to make a little bit of noise. And I got Houston at plus 950. Were you able to find those odds?
I'm pulling them up now. All right, let's see here.
Where'd you actually? We should get from FanDuel. FanDuel, proud partner of Do Champions. We can find this quick. FanDuel National Championship odds for basketball. Oh, so they got Duke as a plus 280 to win the whole thing right now. Wow. Is that
So I think
surprise
Florida
you?
and Duke. Florida's not one.
Florida's plus 390 at FanDuel.
Okay. Because
Then they
last I seen it was Florida, Duke, Auburn, for the top three.
Yep. Auburn is plus 500. And I got them at 425. I didn't get to bet them at FanDuel because I live in South Carolina. Not great. But Houston, I bet at plus 950. That's all the way down to plus 600.
600, yeah.
So I definitely like that. I had Michigan State at plus 2,200. They got them at plus 3,000. Not great closing line value. Iowa State, I had it at plus 1,000. They got them at plus 3,200 now. Not great closing value there.
Tennessee's plus 2,400. Who I got winning it.
Yeah, that's great. That's I like that 24-1. I took Wisconsin at 30-1. They got Wisconsin at 60-1 to win the whole thing. Probably for good reason. That Florida at plus 390 is interesting. Man, a lot of respect for Florida in the market. Why is Duke plus 280?
Because because their region, I'm telling you, I think it's the weakest region. That's why, in my opinion. And the odds kind of say that, right? If they're plus 280 and they're not even the number one overall seed, I don't know what. I feel like
you're
they've got the
exactly
easiest
right.
route.
Oh, I hate that I have Wisconsin beating them now. Sticking to my guns, but oof. What are we going to do? No one to blame, dude. No one to blame.
No one to blame.
I've got Houston winning. Kevin has got Tennessee cutting down the Nets. First round bets. I have laid first 4 games. I laid 2.5 with Xavier. That was a bet on for me. We get into the tournament games on Thursday and Friday. I got Louisville money line. I got Iowa State laying 13.5. I got Memphis plus 3, and we didn't talk about this, but I also played the over 146.5 in that game. Memphis likes to score some points, and they like to let up some points. I like to see that game in the both teams to score in the high 70s, low 80s to get us there. I bet St. John's minus 18.5, Tennessee minus 18.5. Utah State plus 6, Purdue minus 7.5, Clemson minus 7, Bob Morris minus 23.5. Make sure you follow me on X at @do_Neffy. I will post all of my plays. Hit it about a 56% clip this year on 650 college basketball wagers. Not great, but we came out with a big profit. That's all that matters. If you're getting those lines at minus 110, you're up over 40 units with me. We're having fun. Kev, closing thoughts on the bracket?
Hey, have a blast. Hey, sit down, get off of work if possible. Sit in front of the TV anywhere, everywhere, your living room, a bar. Hey, just take it all in. Hey,
this is what we waited for.
Fade the Cinderella after the big win.
Yep.
After the big win, fade the Cinderella.
Absolutely. You're 100% right there, Kev. Make sure you guys are following both of us on X. We'll be putting out plays. We are live again next Monday as we recap all the action, see where all of our plays landed. Make sure you're checking out all of Do Champions content on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, on X. We got shows every day of the week. We got No One to Blame. We got Coast to Coast. We got Chasing Data. We got Third and Manageable. We got Hockey Hotline for the Sabres fans. All two of them. They host the podcast. And then we got Jake's show. Wow, Jake's going to kill me. What's Jake's show? Buffalo Blueprint. Buffalo Blueprint's on Sunday nights right now. Do Champions, man. Buffalo-based media network, bringing you all the Buffalo Bills off season. We got you guys covered. Chase, one of our newest add-ons, Do Champions. He's covering all the NFL. And then you got me and Kev, man, hitting all of that obscure non-Buffalo stuff. But you know we stay repping. Always. It's our year next year, dude. Can't wait. But we're talking March Madness, baby. Go Houston. Have a fun weekend. Drink responsibly. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Kev, it's good to be seen, brother.
No one to blame. Have a weekend.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you are having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it. I'll fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.